Arc Raiders' next expedition is coming up, and they've made some interesting changes to the system, its rewards, and the value of the expedition overall. Today we're taking a look at what you need to know if you've been thinking about departing and restarting your journey as a Raider topside once more. Drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all things Arc Raiders and even more FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, check out my friends over at Advanced GG, where code Espresso can get 10% off your entire order, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into it. So in an article entitled just simply The Fourth Expedition, they say the fourth expedition is almost here and it's bringing some exciting changes. Each expedition we run, we learn something new and look for ways to make improvements. This time around, that means shaking things up with an updated reward structure. Complete your fourth expedition to earn the first level of the new Zenith outfit. Prove yourself with expedition challenges, and instead of skill points, you'll earn blueprints to jumpstart your topside adventure and Raider tokens to keep you looking sharp every step of the way. As for the timing of this here, when it kicks off, is the window opens on the 7th of July at 1 p.m. CEST, 11 a.m. UTC, and 4 a.m. PT, and goes until the 21st of July at 10 a.m. CEST, 8 a.m. UTC, and 1 a.m. PT. So about 14 days you have to sign up and complete the requirements all throughout that. They did make the sort of footnote here that, of course, completing your caravan, those 5 steps into the 6th step of actually closing off the caravan, doesn't count as signing up for the expedition. You still have to consciously do that. And then, of course, the last call feature will be active for this as well. Right up front, they gave a little bit of foreshadowing that the rewards are going to depend on your personal progress, meaning that if you're on your first, second, or third expedition, the rewards are going to differ from those on their fourth. So the first thing to note is that we are going to have the damage challenge returning from this last expedition that we saw, from the third one going into the fourth once again, where rewards 1 through 5 are on a scaling damage total done to any and all Arc or other Raiders. Same challenge as last time on the same scaling, 5, 10, 30, 50, and 100,000 damage required to end up getting those. Now the rewards themselves for the fourth expedition are going to differ. Again, if you're on 1, 2, or 3, that is something you're going to have a different reward structure and still going to be continuing on with what we've seen in prior expeditions. This time around though, there's going to be mystery rewards, where players embarking on their fourth expedition will no longer earn skill points from the expedition challenge. Instead, you'll receive blueprints and Raider tokens delivered after your departure. The number of rewards you receive is based on damage dealt during the departure window, using the same thresholds as the previous expeditions. Note that unlike skill points, these rewards have no catch-up mechanic. So if this is what is continuing going into the future, it's not something that you're going to end up being able to bank 5 blueprints in the future for the 5th expedition. They say this is the first time we're trying the mystery reward system, and we'll be monitoring it closely to see how it performs and analyze your feedback. As always, we make changes in the future as we continue to try and improve. So again, blueprints are going to be those rewards here on the other side of the expedition, where each completed departure objective, 1 through 5, anywhere from 5 to 100,000 in damage, will reward you with 1 blueprint. Keep in mind that these blueprints are temporary and again will reset when you depart on your next expedition. The damage challenge rewards are safeguarded against duplicates, meaning you won't receive the same blueprint twice. However, that protection does not extend to the blueprints you have carried over in Ermal's vault. So what this means is that of those 5 you end up getting, you're not going to get 2 of the same, let's say, complex gun parts. You're not going to get 2 of those in the same 5, but if you brought a complex gun parts blueprint over from Ermal, that is something that could be a duplicate, and means that you won't truly know if there's any duplicates until you get to the other side of that expedition if you take any blueprints over through Ermal's vault. Now they did list a potential number of blueprints that you can have available for these mystery rewards. They're not all of the blueprints, but there's actually a wide number of them here that covers a lot of bases, a lot of these being solid options, but also with how many there are, it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get any number of these. So they included a list of the heavy gun parts, complex gun parts, padded stock, extended barrel 3, muzzle brake 3, stable stock 3, vertical girt 3, Venator, Rascal, Osprey, Trailblazer, Anvil, Patina, Hallcracker, Tempest, Volcano, Delabra, Aphelion, Combat Augment Mark III Flanking, Tactical Defensive, Looting Safekeeper, Looting Survivor, the Wolfpack, Power Descender, and the Snaphook blueprints, all available on that, again, random RNG rotation of anywhere from getting 1 to 5 of those. And additionally, you'll end up getting 150 Raider tokens for completing each departure objective, where unlike blueprints, those are permanent and will not reset with the next expedition. So if I'm understanding that little sub note properly, Raider tokens 150 times 5 will grant you an additional 750 Raider tokens, again, if it is talking about those incremental steps. Now, beyond that, you are going to get the new permanent cosmetic option of the Zenith outfit for your 4th departure. Again, if you have not done or completed 1, 2, or 3, you're still going to be working towards those patchwork outfits, but if it's your 4th expedition, you have the stage 1 of the Zenith outfit available. Then you'll also end up getting plus 12 stash space, 48 total through the 4th expedition, and they mentioned that next expedition with the 5th one will max out at the plus 60 range. So anything from 6 and beyond means you're not going to end up having like 72 or up in terms of what you have compared to the base value of the game. Now, that very well could coincide with the timing for the overall overhaul that we have coming for the October update, but that's a little bit speculative in nature at the moment. We don't know the timing on that just yet, and of course, we don't know what the progression track and what things look like in that regard after the overhaul with the next update. They also said the bonus skill points from expeditions cap at 15, so players can still catch up on the ones they previously missed, but if this is your 4th one, you are not going to end up having the ability to get new ones. Now, what's also kind of interesting here out of this is they changed the consecutive buffs for how this works as well. They said consecutive buffs are granted to raiders that continue to do the expedition in a row. The XP boost, scrappy materials boost, and repair boost value are capped at 3 levels, meaning that if this is your 4th expedition in a row, the boosted values will be maintained from your 3rd expedition, but not increased. Missing an expedition window doesn't remove the progress, but will result in the buffs not increasing for the next expedition period. The buff itself is also not active during the period of the missed expedition. You need to do 2 expeditions in a row in order to increase the buffs, which means if this is your 3rd expedition in a row, you'll get all 3 levels of the consecutive buffs. If you missed 1 expedition window apart from the first one, you should have a 2nd level of the consecutive buffs. Now, they talk a little bit about Ermel's Vault and Trials, but those just basically being your basic rundown again of what you have on offer, nothing changing with those ones. And they conclude by saying new raiders and future expeditions. We understand the frustration of new players that are only now starting to do their expeditions. We need to find the right balance of rewarding our veteran players, but also give new players fair and fun ways to catch up and not feel like they're always behind. This is a continuous effort and we'll keep you updated as we have more to share. So, pretty drastic changes here to the overall expedition reward structure and what you end up encountering. So, I'm a positive person, or at least I'd like to think so. So let's talk about the positives real quick. Number 1, first, we have clear, concise communication with ample time. We know exactly what we're doing, what we're getting into, and what we need to focus on with nearly 2 weeks to go before the window even opens up. While I'd personally still like to see those requirements and details much earlier into the season, hell, I'd even take them at day 1 of the new season, maybe even being in-game as a UI sort of note that once you go into the project, you see, hey, this is what you still have to look forward to after that, like what the expedition is going to actually require beyond your caravan. But with a challenge in the window, this gives players much more time and runway to do what they want before getting to that point. Additionally, the new introduction of the rewards you can accomplish, a specific list of what you have for that RNG is definitely nice. But, I mean, that's also probably one of our negatives, which we can jump into now at this point. The rewards, I don't think that this is going to appeal to a lot of players. Mystery rewards for blueprints. I initially misread this, like the first time that I got the notification here at this, I saw the article, I scanned through everything like top level looking at the highlighted stuff. I read that as mastery rewards, as if you could choose the 5 you keep, and I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. There's a solid number of blueprints that I'd actually want, because in all actuality, the heavy gun parts blueprint, hull cracker, survivor, those were like my top 3 planned blueprints of my 5 in the vault, along with maybe like the equalizer or something else that would probably be like a day of decision. But then I reread it and saw it was mystery rewards. So now you're just on an RNG basis here at this that you draw from, that you don't have any guarantee, and you have the chance of getting a duplicate with your Ermal Trader, those blueprints in the vault that you probably have worked pretty hard to either find again or whatever the case. So for this to be a random RNG generation at this point, I personally don't really like that structure of this. And of course, no skill points. That's probably what more people are frustrated by, understandably so. Like for me, I'm more focused on the mystery rewards because like ever since they announced they were eventually going to move away from the skill points, I kind of braced that each expedition would be the last to offer skill points. But I mean, yeah, I still get it. This is definitely something that's one of the big draws, the main appeals for why they're doing the expedition in the first place. Additionally, I do not like that we have a cap on those consecutive buffs. Again, not announced ahead of time with proper set expectations. Like, here's the thing. I still would love to see plus 12 going for the expansion stash slots with each expedition, but they at least said that, hey, this is not the last one. Next one is going to be when it's capped. So like that at least gives you the expectation going into the next expedition that, okay, they're probably going to do something differently that is going to change that around. But what I'm looking forward to isn't what is going to happen forever. This, capping it at 3, there was no prior mention here of this, and for me, that's what I find so strange and so weird. I get that we were getting to the point where, like, you're almost, what, I think it would have been a 90% buff for repair bonuses and stuff like that, so, like, you're getting very close to just becoming very powerful and not using a lot of stuff in terms of repairing and all those kind of things, but, like, again, just to do it out of nowhere like that, that's the jolting part of it that I'm not a fan of, and why I'm just, I don't like that. That's all me personally speaking. Like, of course, you could absolutely love this, and that's great if you do, but I'm kind of thinking that a lot of people aren't going to really like these changes. Ultimately, here's the thing. I can appreciate them keeping things fresh by changing structure to challenges, rewards, whatever. I think that keeps things fresher than if we just had to do the same thing over and over and over again, but completely honest, I think that what they've done with this one makes it the most missable expedition yet. From a cap on skill points to no guarantee of what blueprints you'll get, for the 100,000 damage to the consecutive buffs not increasing as you progress further and further down the path, the only thing that really seems worth it now is the new Zenith skin progression, which, like, even that, it's cool, but I'm probably still not going to use it all that much. So there's this fine line they address in saying, we understand the frustrations of new players that are only now starting to do their expedition. We want to find the right balance of rewarding our veteran players, but also give new players fair and fun ways to catch up and not feel like they're always behind. So Embark, for that, they've gone on record in the past saying they've found the participation rate for the expedition is low. So to me, I mean, I'd imagine you just try and make this more incentivized and make it more enticing with a reward structure, ease of access, and more. But it seems like this expedition is just the opposite of that. It's just not that, which is so strange to me in a time where, like, you don't have a whole ton of content going out, which is fine, it's whatever. But, like, one of the things that makes it feel fresh and you're going to end up getting people coming back is by doing things again. That's the whole purpose of a wipe here at this, and not only just like making sure the in-game economy doesn't get too out of hand and scale differently for new and veteran players, but like doing that all over again. That grind is something that will bring players back if it's rewarded properly versus like, hey, here's a content update, come check this out type of thing. So like, that to me is just so strange to go light on why you should reset in the first place, on top of not delivering a ton of content until October. This on top of the fact that we still don't really know if we have anything different for things like the level 1 to 75 progression skin. I mean, it's probably going to be the same Forza skin again for the, what now, 5th time? The same cosmetic rewards for doing the quests a 5th time? I'm not expecting those to be different, but it's just kind of like adding more ammunition to the argument, you know? So this one is a kind of perplexing change. I don't really know how to feel about this one other than like just confused as to why this is the way they went and why they're doing things so abruptly to disincentivize players from going on the expedition almost. But anyways, that's where we're at. Before we wrap everything up though, a quick heads up, we have partnered with my friends over at Advanced GG. Again, as we've mentioned, a bit under the radar the last few months, but now going into the summer, ramping that up more and more. Advanced is the healthier energy supplement option where I use it daily as my comparable cup of coffee. Currently drinking that raspberry lemonade. Magic Rainbow Sherbet's also another one that's one of my favorites, but I'd highly recommend, and we actually co-branded that along with a few other items on their site, like a 26-ounce ice shaker. But love this stuff. If you're looking for a replacement for your own cup of coffee, give it a try. If you decide to give it a go, code Espresso and get 10% off your entire order. But no sweat, appreciate you hearing me out on this, and of course, just checking in on the videos here that you made it this far. But for now, that's what we're gonna call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this change to the expedition? Number 4, do you like the changes? Not so much? Let me know. If you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Arc Raiders and even more FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.